Welcome students, this is Paramita ma'am, and as you know I am dealing with the subject English for class 7. So today we will deal with a topic for writing skill, that is informal letter writing. I know that it's a very common topic that you are used to for at least 3 or 5 years long, but still we'll see if we can add something to it. Now first of all, informal letter writing, it consists of 3 basic things. That is, what means what is the purpose of it, the format of the informal letter writing, and an example, that is of the informal letter writing. Now if we come to the what of informal letter writing, there comes why do we write informal letter writing? What is the purpose of informal letter writing? Suppose we are writing a letter and we will revise these things. So let's revise what we have learned so far. Now what is a letter? A written message that is conveyed from one person to another person, and generally it is done via post. So as we know that a letter is a written communication, and we also have other things as written communication, that is emails, then telegrams and so forth. So for types of letter, we are dealing for 2 types of letter, that is formal letter and the informal letter. What is the basic difference between this formal letter and the informal letter? For the formal letter, it is generally used for business or professional purpose, and that is why you can well understand the language will be very simple and the language will be very formal. Business or professional purpose means, say for example, you are writing a letter to the director of an institute, you are writing a letter to the manager of the bank for any purpose or any grievances or anything. So these are the examples when you are writing a formal letter to any person, which is generally a business or a professional purpose. In contrast to that, informal letters are written basically for the personal communications from one person to another. Say for example, you are writing a letter to your friend, maybe to your parents if you are staying outside, maybe to your sisters and brothers who are staying very far from you, okay, and you are writing it in a very casual or emotional tone. Casual means the words that is used, the tempo of the language, the diction of the language that is used, all will be very casual in nature, and there can be emotional tones as well. Say you are expressing some grievances, you are expressing some joy, you are expressing some regrets. So these come into this emotional flavor. Now how to write an informal letter? Let's come to the format. I have divided this format into various parameters, various segregations, 6 segregations. So first of all, that comes is the name and the address of the sender, that is the sender's details. The first of all, we have to write the sender's details, to whom we are sending, and the address of the sender. Then comes the date. 2nd March 2020 you can write in this format, or you can write March 2nd 2020. It's very essential. And then comes the salutation. Here salutation, if you are writing to your father, your mother, or brother, or your friends, the most common salutation used over here is dear. Then comes the body of the letter, where the actual message is conveyed. After that, the complimentary close is there, where you are using yours lovingly, yours sincerely, things like that, yours faithfully, and then you are ending the letter, and after that you are writing your name and signature, you are doing your signature. Okay, so this is in total the format of the informal letter. I repeat, it starts with the sender's details, then comes the date, the salutation, the main body of the letter, then the complimentary close, and then the name and the signature. Yours, name and signature. That means you are writing this letter. Now this 4th part, that is 4th component, that is the body of the letter or the actual message, can be divided into various different little segments, which will be easier for you to understand. Let's see in this next slide. Now this body of the message, which is the actual message conveyed through the informal letter, has generally 3 parts. What are these parts? Introduction, main content and the summary. What are these? Introduction is the purpose of the letter. Why you are writing this letter? What is your purpose? What is your intent? What is your motive? And then come the main content. Why you are writing and what has happened, that is why you are writing it, and in a very detailed order. And then comes the summary of that main message. Means you summarize and then you draw a conclusion or you question somebody, and this is what you call this summarizing the information, or the summarizing the main part of the letter. So these are the 3 basic parts, basic components of the body of the letter. To deal with it in a very detailed manner, yet another way, we can concentrate on these points. What are these? These 3 parts, that is introduction, main content and the summarization of the information, can have the casual tone of writing. The words used, the structure of the sentences can be very casual and very informal. You can also use the contractions. For example, I haven't instead of I have not, because it's an informal letter. You can use the exclamatory sentences. You are using, means you are expressing joy, you are expressing sadness, you are ordering something, these things, and you are like the emotions that you have, you are expressing those emotions. So those comes into the exclamatory sentences, and obviously this informal letter will be written in an active voice. Passive voice is generally avoided in this type of informal letter. Generally passive voice is written in the formal letters, and there is no strict rule that you have to divide the body of the letter into introduction, main content or the summary, but it is advised. If you can do so, it will look in a better way. Now just I have tried to write this outlook of that letter and show you how this particular letter looks like. That is, the address is there, then the date, then the salutation, the body of the letter, and then after that it's the complimentary closure. Okay, so I hope you have understood it, and in the next video I'll be bringing you with an sample letter. Till then, thank you.